Hello and welcome to Observer TV News. It's Wednesday, November 30. I'm Renee Allen.
And I'm Melisha Ratnarajah, and here are the top stories. A two-alarm fire broke out at a Scarborough restaurant. 9 people are facing 111 firearm charges.
And Netflix users are getting an exciting update. And now to our top story. There's been a big fire at a popular Scarborough restaurant. The fire broke out at Annabella Barbecue and Deli early this morning near Danforth and Birchmount. Officials say the fire started in the restaurant's basement. Firefighters had trouble finding the source of the fire because of heavy smoke. No one was hurt, but it took a lot of work to put it out. 9 trucks and 40 firefighters responded to the scene.
6 youths, including a 12-year-old girl and 3 adults, are facing numerous charges. 2 machine pistols and a high-capacity magazine were found during a search of a home in Scarborough's Laneway neighborhood on Tuesday. The 3 adults appeared in court today at College Park, while the youths appear at a 1911 Eglinton Avenue East to answer to the charges. Police are currently testing the guns to see if they were modified to allow for fully automatic fire. All 9 accused face a combined total of 111 offenses related to firearm possession, as well as possession of stolen property.
The City of Toronto wants to have safe injection sites for drug users. They'll put in a request to officials in Ottawa on World AIDS Day tomorrow. Safe injection sites allow drug users to inject drugs under the supervision of healthcare professionals. Toronto would be the first in Ontario to have them. The 3 sites will be on Victoria Street, Bathurst Street, and Queen Street East. Experts say the sites could reduce overdoses and limit the spread of diseases. Studies show that there was a 77% increase in overdose deaths in the city recently.
The City of Toronto is advising residents living near ravines and forests to expect an increase in coyote sightings. At this time of the year, coyotes are active during the day and night. To minimize negative encounters with coyotes, the city urges residents to avoid feeding them, avoiding feeding pets outdoors, place garbage out on the morning of the scheduled pickup rather than the night before, and always keep dogs on leashes and cats indoors or supervised when outside.
Hello and welcome to Observer TV News. It's Wednesday, November 30. I'm Renee Allen.
And I'm Melisha Ratnarajah, and here are the top stories. A 2-alarm fire broke out at a Scarborough restaurant. 9 people are facing 111 firearm charges.
And Netflix users are getting an exciting update. And now to our top story. There's been a big fire at a popular Scarborough restaurant. The fire broke out at Annabella Barbecue and Deli early this morning near Danforth and Birchmount. Officials say the fire started in the restaurant's basement. Firefighters had trouble finding the source of the fire because of heavy smoke. No one was hurt, but it took a lot of work to put it out. 9 trucks and 40 firefighters responded to the scene.
6 youths, including a 12-year-old girl and 3 adults, are facing numerous charges. 2 machine pistols and a high-capacity magazine were found during a search of a home in Scarborough's Laneway neighborhood on Tuesday. The 3 adults appeared in court today at College Park, while the youths appear at a 1911 Eglinton Avenue East to answer to the charges. Police are currently testing the guns to see if they were modified to allow for fully automatic fire. All 9 accused face a combined total of 111 offenses related to firearm possession, as well as possession of stolen property.
The City of Toronto wants to have safe injection sites for drug users. They'll put in a request to officials in Ottawa on World AIDS Day tomorrow. Safe injection sites allow drug users to inject drugs under the supervision of healthcare professionals. Toronto would be the first in Ontario to have them. The 3 sites will be on Victoria Street, Bathurst Street, and Queen Street East. Experts say the sites could reduce overdoses and limit the spread of diseases. Studies show that there was a 77% increase in overdose deaths in the city recently.
The City of Toronto is advising residents living near ravines and forests to expect an increase in coyote sightings. At this time of the year, coyotes are active during the day and night. To minimize negative encounters with coyotes, the city urges residents to avoid feeding them, avoiding feeding pets outdoors, place garbage out on the morning of the scheduled pickup rather than the night before, and always keep dogs on leashes and cats indoors or supervised when outside.
An Instagram-famous acrobat and stuntman has been arrested in Toronto. Siberian-born Oleg Cricket was spotted leaping from beam to beam on a 36-story condo. He was filming a video called At the Top of Toronto, Canada, where he performed stunts on Toronto's tallest buildings. The video was sponsored by Swiss watch company Bomberg. A security guard called police on him and his cameraman. The pair were arrested and charged with break-and-enter and mischief. Urban explorers have died performing similar stunts.
A Toronto man says his employer discriminated against him because of his beard. 68-year-old Alan Stockel applied for a job to the courier company UPS to be a walker who assisted drivers with picking up and delivering packages. He has a short, well-trimmed beard and short hair, but UPS requires employers to be clean-shaven. Although Stockel doesn't have a beard for religious reasons, he feels his human rights were violated when asked to shave the beard he has had since he was 18. UPS still stands by their practices and says they are confident in the legality of its employment practices. Stockel hasn't heard anything further from UPS, but says he is no longer interested in working for them.
Meanwhile, commuters at Coxwell Station can now tear their eyes away from their cell phones. They have something better to look at. Here is the latest from the ribbon cutting from the new mural. The community celebrated the unveiling of the Coxwell Laneway Mosaic mural. The mural represents a journey through time. Each pod shows a moment in East York's history. The community's ideas provided the inspiration for the project.
Based on East York's community, like the past and what we see as this being East York and what we want for the future. It's a little abstract, but it also brings a lot of happiness.
Christina Delago is Toronto's unofficial muralist. She was the lead artist. She and her team worked off-site and later assembled on the wall. The community was very supportive. The kind words of passers-by helped them to keep going. Christina and her team of artists finished the mural in 4 weeks.
I can't believe I worked with Christina. It was amazing. She's awesome. She pushed us, but she did it in a very professional manner, you know what I mean? Because we had a short time to do it, right? But she was awesome. Inspiring and just very helpful, giving us ideas for the pieces. Yeah.
The mural is part of Start, the city's street arts program. It beautifies public spaces, turning plain walls into works of art.
I was really hoping for what it became, and I think I'm quite pleased. Maybe even the expectations are even better than I hoped for.
The city will continue to unveil these projects over the course of the year. Renee Allen, Observer TV News.
Every day of the week, different religious institutions in Toronto take turns hosting the Beaches Interfaith Lunch Outreach Program. They offer nutritious meals and fellowship to those with low incomes, the homeless, or anyone who is hungry. It's Friday. The doors of Kingston Road United Church just opened at 10 a.m., but the volunteers have been perking the coffee, chopping vegetables, and folding napkins for hours. As part of the drop-in lunch program, they provide nutritious meals for the community every week.
Between Monday and Friday, there's probably some cooking going on, advanced preparation. People will come in usually around 10 o'clock and have a coffee, maybe pick up the paper, and by the time we're ready to start serving at 11 o'clock, the room is often full.
Daisy Hickey is 94 years old and has been volunteering with the lunches for the past 5 years. Although she has been in and out of the hospital lately, she still continues to help.
Oh, I've enjoyed every bit of it because the ladies here are very, very good and very friendly. And also because of the clientele, they're so grateful for what you do. And a good percentage of them are men, that I'm sure live on their own. So when they come here, they get more of a home-cooked meal.
The committee is made up of a number of faiths, including the Beach Synagogue and the Toronto Mennonite United Church. The committee works together to help those in the community and runs its drop-in lunches from October to May. This is Melisha Ratnarajah, Observer TV, Toronto. And now we go to Lucia with international news.
Thanks, Melisha. I'm Lucia Mendez, and that's what's making news around the world. Survivors of the plane crash that killed almost a whole Brazilian soccer team have finally spoken. 2 members of the airplane crew are part of the 6 survivors currently hospitalized. The flight technician assures he followed safety instructions truthfully. The stewardess only remembers that the lights went off. The tragedy killed 71 people, including journalists and staff members of the soccer club. 3 soccer players are still in Medellin's hospital with severe injuries, one with his leg amputated. Chapecoense club was on their way to play Game 1 on the Soccer American Cup final. They were close to the airport when the plane crashed. Investigation on the cause of the fatal accident is currently underway. In other news, world leaders have said goodbye to Fidel Castro in La Habana. Yesterday, presidents of Mexico, Venezuela, and South Africa joined more than 20 leaders at a farewell ceremony in Plaza de la Revolución. Fidel's brother, Raúl Castro, who stands as the current president of Cuba, led the rally. Members of the government signed a book as a compromise and acknowledgement of the socialist legacy. Today, Fidel Castro ashes are starting a significant caravan around the country, a remembrance to the victory journey that he made with his rebel army after seizing the power. The main ceremony will take place this Sunday when his ashes are scattered in Santiago de Cuba, when the historic revolution began. And Barack Obama has denied again the candidature of his wife. In an interview with Rolling Stone magazine, the president has said that she is too sensible to be involved in politics. Obama also spoke on Michelle's talent and influence on the American people. Many citizens are still rooting for her to be the Democrat candidate in 2020. But in radio interviews and White House events, the couple have made clear that she doesn't want to run for office. Switching to local news, a woman in a business suit chased a Guinness World Record dream at the last Toronto Marathon. The 35-year-old racer brought a cheap suit and tie and joined more than 26,000 participants in her best attire, something even she admits was a crazy idea. It's hard to spot her, but Gerald Sullivan is in the third row as the runners take their marks. 11 runners attempt a full marathon in some kind of costume in the Scotiabank Toronto Waterfront Marathon. That's 42 kilometers in a business suit.
You're in a suit. You're in a suit running. You're wearing sneakers. You must have chosen to do it.
She got the idea at the pub with her running friends. She needed to do the marathon in under 4 hours for the world record in her category.
And I thought it would be a great idea to run it dressed as a ship with some working pulleys and some sails. So that seemed like a great idea. Yeah. And then in the cold light of day, it was, oh, that's a lot of work. And so we went back to the suit. I went to the op shop and I bought an $18 suit. That's good. That's good. Well, it was, I don't know if this is going to work out well.
She came 14 minutes over exhausted, but happy.
Here's some question. I have to do it in 4 hours. So this is a record that hasn't been set yet. But Guinness still say, great, there is no record. We would rather have no record than a record that's way out there. So they set a minimum standard anyway. And the minimum standard is I have to do it in 4 hours. So it's meant to be rainy tomorrow. It's meant to be humid tomorrow. It's meant to be a little warmer than I was hoping tomorrow. So I think that these are some, criteria that aren't going to assist me in attaining the sub 4 hour target that they've sort of set for me.
While the marathons run covered, some may already be thinking on their next race.
I've been saying I'm never going to do this again. I'm never going to do another one. No. And then my mum calls me and she says, oh, you know, so she likes to gossip. She's like, okay, so what have you got going on? I might have just signed up for a marathon. Oh, JD. Oh, JD. I'm like, yes, that was me. I said, never say never, but there'd have to be a good reason. You
It's a
know,
break, right?
I like to call
can hear
it
it,
peer
it's a break.
pressure.
I will say that's a local
Peer pressure,
international
yeah.
that's it. Jane didn't accomplish the record, but she did something different in her life and looked good trying to. Lucia Mendez, Observer Television News, Toronto. And that's a look at international news. We'll be right back.
Hello and welcome to the Journal.
We are artists, writers, and storytellers. We are communicators, innovators, and collaborators. We are leaders, creators, and achievers. With one thing in common, a passion for storytelling. Bring life to learning at Centennial College.
Hello everyone, I'm Charlotte Poon, and here's what's making news in the entertainment world. Real World Film Festival is now going into its 16th year, and it's a film festival for social change, taking place at the Harbourfront Centre in Toronto. We take a look at what's being showcased.
There's no red carpet. There's no A-list celebrities. Instead, the Real World Film Festival is about inspiring the audience to fight injustice and change the world. It's where filmmakers, mostly from Canada, can share their diverse experience and showcase their art.
Real World Film Festival is a festival for social change. Not only do we screen films, have VR films and gaming, but our main objective is to connect audiences with partners who are actively trying to make change.
It's not just a big screen where this happens. Real World shows films in VR to bring the viewers right into the eyes of Syrian child refugees and the displaced, and get to experience how important biodiversity is in Valence Reef. After the screenings, most films won't be widely available with the exception of a few already on Netflix.
Technologies, it's never been easier to go out in the world. What is it you see? What are the injustices that you really believe in? Capture those and share them with the rest of the world. It's the only way, especially young people, it's the only way you're going to change the world into what you want it to be.
Real World Film Festival will run up to the 16th of October this Sunday. This year, the films will be screened at this Harbourfront Centre location. Don't forget to get your tickets from the box office this weekend. For more information and full list of films, please visit realworld.ca. This is Charlotte Poon, Observer TV News. Back to you.
Gigi Hadid will be walking on the Victoria's Secret fashion show runway for the second time. She said that it isn't as nerve-wracking as the first time she was on the show, and it feels like a calmer year for her. This time she will share the stage with her good friend and mentor, Lady Gaga, who will also be performing at the show in Paris. Sister Bella Hadid will be joining her sister on the catwalk for the first time. They will be accompanied by models Kendall Jenner, Adriana Lima, Alessandra Ambrosio, Lily Aldrich, and Martha Hunt. And speaking of Bella Hadid, she and The Weeknd are still very much in love with each other, although they have already been broken up for some time. The Weeknd will also be performing at the 2016 Victoria's Secret show this year. This will be his second time performing. The star boy has been very supportive of Bella, and insiders said that he even sent gifts to her room to show his support. Bella said that she's looking forward to doing the show together with The Weeknd. Paris, the city of love. Let's all hope they work it out in the end. In other news, Justin Bieber believes that Instagram is meant for the devil. He asked fans while performing on stage whether he should reactivate his Instagram account, but it looks like you won't be seeing Bieber anytime soon on the app. He deactivated his Instagram account earlier this year after he felt fans were crossing the line when they didn't approve of his then girlfriend, Sophia Richie. Now, over to Jody Anderson with more entertainment news.
Thank you, Charlotte. Starting today, you can watch Netflix offline. That means you can Netflix and chill on the plane with your personal favorites. The only thing, not all content is accessible. For now, it's just Netflix originals and a random selection of videos. The downloads are available on iOS and Android once the app is updated. The Weeknd has earned the most Spotify streams in a single day. It's all thanks to the release of his third studio album, Starboy. The Weeknd dethrones Justin Bieber from last year, who held a record with 36 million streams. Maybe it's third time's the charm for The Bachelor Canada. The W Network has announced that they're coming for a third season in 2017. This follows the unsuccessful engagements from the first 2 seasons and the disappointing conclusion of The Bachelorette Canada. If you want to find love in 7 weeks or less, find out about casting tomorrow on WNetwork.com. And now to lifestyle news with Eden.
Thanks, Jody. Ever feel like your life online is getting a little too public? Well, there's an app for that. Swedish development company DeSeatMe has made it easy to delete your digital footprint. With a quick click, you can permanently erase all traces of your online presence, including inactive social media pages and accounts. The service uses Google's OAuth protocol to access your data, which means that all you need is your email address. It won't erase accounts attached to other email addresses, however. Binge watchers and commuters rejoice. Netflix has just released a new update that allows users to download shows and movies for offline viewing. It's the first in a pay-per-method streaming world. Netflix has just raised the bar for what users will look for when choosing their preferred streaming service. The update is now available for both Android and Apple users in the Google Play and the App Store. And with the holiday season fast approaching, fundraising initiatives are kicking into high gear. The Toronto Transit Commission is doing its part with the help of Pizza and daily commuters. Here's my recent report.
Every Wednesday, the TTC takes part in a fundraising initiative that's in partnership with Pizza and United Way. All proceeds go towards the various charitable causes United Way supports. A collaboration that started in 2003, transit officers volunteer their off-duty time to selling pizza slices for $1 to raise money. There's more to fundraising than the public sees, according to Brad Ross.
Whether it's pizza days at subway stations or raffles inside the organization as employees, there's a whole campaign, to have payroll deduction, for example, and bake sales, and all sorts of things happen inside the organization that you would never see at the public. The real public-facing part of the United Way campaign for the TTC is through these pizza sales. We raise almost $1 million every year for the United Way. It's the public buying a slice of pizza for $1 really does help in a big way. It's a huge revenue generator for us.
For Marcela Garcia, a ticket booth agent with the TTC for nearly 7 years, raising money for United Way is a chance to show gratitude for all the organization has done for her.
I personally was in a shelter fundraised by United Way, and this is my way to pay to United Way when I need it. So for me, United Way is something very important, and it goes in my heart that when I need it, they were there for me.
As a nonprofit organization, United Way relies on volunteers.
At this point, everything is pretty much volunteer. So in the morning, I work my shift, but then I'm done, and then I'm coming here to helping with the pizza, right? So it's not like you take people out of the seat to come and here and sell pizza. A lot of the people that volunteer is pretty much you finish your crew, that it's already working for 8 hours, 9 hours, and then you come here and you volunteer your time, your personal time.
Participating stations run across all 4 lines, including Finch, Shepherd, and here at Pape. Check out your local TTC station to make your donation. For Observer TV News, I'm Eden Tebeba.
And that's our show for tonight. Be sure to check out TorontoObserver.ca for more in-depth coverage. I'm Eden Tebeba, and on behalf of all of us here at Observer TV News, thank you for watching and have a good night.